In this video we will have a look into how the Jesuit order are in full control of the United States of America, and how Donald Trump handed over all power and control to FEMA when he signed the National Emergency Declaration in 2020. FEMA Homeland Security, also known as DHS, are operated by the Jesuit order, and I will provide evidence in this video. You see, the Jesuits were ruling Washington, D.C. already back in 1888, because the American people had fallen into idolatry, in love with the goddess of liberty, who is no other than the Babylonian sun god Mithras in disguise. This national pride and arrogance blinded the Americans to the danger of the Jesuit takeover from behind the scenes. It was the Jesuit, Masonic First Amendment concept of freedom of worship which was written into the Constitution, that enabled Rome to operate as a protective party in within the USA, under the Freedom of Religion clause. The Jesuits has always operated as a Trojan horse, a sleeper cell, until they gained the upper hand. They infiltrated the American government from the top down, from a very early stage with Roman Catholics or Masonic statesmen. They manipulated many of the founding fathers, whom were Freemasons, including George Washington. The Jesuits created the 14th Amendment, that nullified the Constitution in 1868, and the Act of 1871 that followed, which was the last nail in the coffin. Americans has been living on borrowed time for 150 years without a constitution, and didn't even know it. That is how well this was hidden. Let's have a look at a few more photos that shows the Jesuits' influence over Washington, D.C. It is easy to see the similarities between the Capitol building and the Vatican. The Washington, D.C. obelisk is a replica of the Babylonian obelisk of St. Peter's Square in the Vatican. Here we see the Babylonian sun god Mars, at the entrance to the Capitol building. And it is also clear, how the states Virginia and Maryland was named after their sacred Virgin Mary. Now, we will see how Donald Trump handed over full control to FEMA, when he signed the emergency declaration in 2020. FEMA has now more power than the current President of the United States or the Congress. It has the power to suspend laws, move entire populations, arrest and detain citizens without a warrant, and hold them without trial. It can seize property, food supplies, transportation systems, and can suspend the Constitution when a state of emergency is declared. Which we clearly see from this executive order.
Executive Order 11921 allows the Federal Emergency Preparedness Agency to develop plans to establish control over the mechanisms of production and distribution of energy sources, wages, salaries, credit, and the flow of money in the U.S. financial institution in any undefined national emergency.
Now, pay close attention to what Donald Trump is saying.
It is only the beginning of what we're really doing, and now we're in a different phase.
What they're really doing is putting everything in place to start the new world order.
Now we're in a different phase.
The different phase that he's speaking of is that he was no longer president, and he gave full power over to FEMA when he signed the National Emergency Declaration.
We had some very old and obsolete rules.
Those old and obsolete rules are also known as the Constitution of the United States.
That we had to live with. It worked under certain circumstances, but not under mass circumstances.
Under mass circumstances as being under FEMA rule.
They were there for a long time, they were in place for a long time, and we're breaking them down now.
They're definitely breaking them down because the Constitution was suspended.
And they're very usable for certain instances, but not for this.
Because they can't go forward with their plan with the constitutional rights still intact.
To unleash the full power of the federal government in this effort today, I am officially declaring a national emergency.
So he is officially telling us in a coded message that we are now under the rule of FEMA and no longer having a president. Fast forward to March the 19th, 2020, in the FEMA National Response Coordination Center.
Well, Mr. President, Vice President, thank you for being here. Really appreciate your visit to FEMA. I think your visit really, as you indicated last week, by signing the national emergency, has really empowered FEMA.
He just made the declaration that FEMA is empowered. Has really empowered FEMA.
Has really empowered FEMA. Has really empowered FEMA.
Fast forward to April 10th, 2020 in plain words, it's been my great honor to have been their president. Past tense.
The American people have been so disciplined. It's been my honor to be their president. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll say it always. It's been my great honor to have been their president, and it's been my great honor to have been their president, and have been their president, have been their president. I have a big decision coming up, and I only hope to God that it's the right decision, but it'll be based on the input from a lot of very talented people, very smart people, and people that love our country. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
He actually will not be making any more decisions from this point, neither will any president after him. This group of people that he says will be helping him make decisions, are the ones that are making decisions now, because it is FEMA that is making the decisions. Let's look into some more executive orders that was signed.
Executive Order 12148 created the Federal Emergency Management Agency that is to interface with the Department of Defense for civil defense, planning and funding. An emergency czar was appointed. Executive Order 12656 appointed the National Security Council as the principal body that should consider emergency powers. This allows the government to increase domestic intelligence and surveillance of U.S. citizens, and would restrict the freedom of movement within the United States, and grant the government the right to isolate large groups of civilians. The National Guard could be federalized to seal all borders, and take control of U.S. airspace in all ports of entry. Executive Order 10990 allows the government to take over all modes of transportation, and control of highways and seaports. Executive Order 10995 allows the government to seize and control the communications media. Executive Order 10997 allows the government to take over all electrical power, gas, petroleum, fuels, and minerals. Executive Order 10998 allows the government to take over all food resources and farms. Executive Order 11000 allows the government to mobilize civilians into work brigades under government supervision. Executive Order 11001 allows the government to take over all health, education, and welfare functions. Executive Order 11002 designates the Postmaster General to operate a national registration of all persons. Executive Order 11003 allows the government to take over all airports and aircraft, including commercial aircraft. Executive Order 11004 allows the Housing and Finance Authority to relocate communities, build new housing with public funds, designate areas to be abandoned, and establish new locations for populations. Executive Order 11005 allows the government to take over railroads, inland waterways, and public storage facilities. Executive Order 11051 specifies the responsibility of the Office of Emergency Planning, and gives authorization to put all executive orders into effect in times of increased international tensions and economic or financial crisis. Executive Order 11310 grants authority to the Department of Justice to enforce the plan set out in executive orders, to institute industrial support, to establish judicial and legislative liaison, to control all aliens to operate penal and correctional institutions. Executive Order 11049 assigns emergency preparedness function to federal departments and agencies, consolidating 21 operative executive orders issued over a 15-year period.
So, when we listen closely to what Donald Trump was saying, and looking into the executive orders that were signed, it is clear that all power and control was handed over to FEMA. And they are now in full control of the United States of America. We can also see how Trump chose Jesuit-trained General John Kelly to lead Homeland Security. John Kelly is educated in Georgetown University, which is a Jesuit university that has major influence over the United States. We can also see how the Jesuit leaders have meetups with Homeland Security. And how FEMA donated around $3.4 million to the Jesuit college the Holy Cross. And we can also see that the Department of Homeland Security is now led by Georgetown alumna Kirsten M. Nielsen. I have said it before and I will say it again. All roads lead to Rome. One more thing that is important to understand is who operates the CIA, which we know as the Central Intelligence Agency, but what it really stands for is Catholics in Action. We will now see how the leaders of the CIA are all Jesuit trained, or members of Skull and Bones. George Tenet, Director of the Central Intelligence Agency. December 15, 1996 to July 14, 2004. Jesuit trained. Porter J. Goss, Director of the Central Intelligence Agency. September 24, 2004 to April 21, 2005. Member of Skull and Bones. Michael Hayden, Director of the Central Intelligence Agency. May 30, 2006 to February 12, 2009. Jesuit trained. Leon Panetta, Director of the Central Intelligence Agency. July 1, 2011 to February 27, 2013. Jesuit trained. David Pastrayas, Director of the Central Intelligence Agency. September 6, 2011 to November 9, 2012. Jesuit trained. Michael Morell, Director of the Central Intelligence Agency. November 9, 2012 to March 8, 2013. Member of Skull and Bones. John Brennan, Director of the Central Intelligence Agency. March 8, 2013 to incumbent Jesuit trained. Michael Hayden, Director of the National Security Agency 1999 to 2005 Roman Catholic. Keith B. Alexander, Director of the National Security Agency August 1, 2005 to March 28, 2014 Roman Catholic. Michael S. Rogers, Director of the National Security Agency April 2, 2014 Roman Catholic. Let's have a look at a quote from the Western Watchman, a paper published in Street Louis by Catholic priest D.S. Phelan. June 27, 1912.
Tell us, we are Catholics first and Americans or Englishmen afterwards. Of course we are. Tell us, in the conflict between the church and the civil government we take the side of the church. Of course we do. Why? If the government of the United States were at war with the church, we would say tomorrow, to hell with the government of the United States. And if the church and all the governments of the world were at war, we would say, to hell with all the governments of the world. Why is it that in this country where we have only 7% of the population, the Catholic Church is so much feared? She is loved by all her children and feared by everybody. Why is it the Pope has such tremendous power? Why, the Pope is the ruler of the world. All the emperors, all the kings, all the princes, all the presidents of the world are as these altar boys of mine. The Pope is the ruler of the world.
So, it is clear from this quote how all kings and presidents of the world are just altar boys of the supreme ruler of the world, the Pope. And they have been preparing for their world government for many years, which we can hear this ex-Jesuit priest Alberto Rivera tell us.
The purpose is what the Roman Catholic system has all the time as her own purpose, is to infiltrate, to penetrate all the areas of life where the Roman Catholic can have control and access for the coming world government. What that means is, in preparation for that world government, the Roman Catholic institution, especially since the establishment of the Jesuit order in 1541, throughout all these 500 years, they've been in preparation and through infiltration and penetration of every level of society in order to take over the world politically and religiously.
And that is exactly what they have been doing over the past centuries. Taken over the world religiously and politically. And Jesuit-owned FEMA gained full control, and are in charge now after Trump signed the National Emergency Declaration. FEMA has been building facilities or detention centers all around the United States for the past years. The so-called FEMA camps, which are going to be put in action when martial law will be declared. We saw earlier in the Executive Order 12656 that FEMA has the authority to restrict freedom of movement and right to detain large groups of civilians. That is what these many FEMA camps are for, when martial law is declared.
We don't even understand freedom anymore. We are a country that is headed towards socialism, totalitarianism, beyond your wildest imagination. I have to tell you, I'm doing a story tonight that I wanted to debunk these FEMA camps. I'm tired of hearing, you know about them?
Sure.
I'm tired of hearing it. I wanted to debunk them. Well, we've now for several days done research on them. I can't debunk them.
I don't know anything about them.
It is our government. If you trust our government, it's fine. If you have any kind of fear that we might be headed towards a totalitarian state, look out, buckle up. There's something going on in our country that is ain't good.
And they find a little red dot or a little blue dot on their mailbox, and they wonder what the little red dot and blue dot is. Well, it's marking your mailbox by the government, so when foreign troops come in here on us after martial law, but if you have a blue dot, they take you to the FEMA camps being built by Halliburton right now to house 50 million Americans. They're building enough concentration camps in America by Halliburton.
Okay, this is like 1 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning. Got military vehicles here at Walmart in Forney, Texas. I've seen these videos. Military vehicles doing here at Walmart. Oh, you got me, man. I know Walmart has government contracts, but you got me on this one. What's going on in this country, people?
Some are called Jade Helm 15. While the military says it's just training soldiers for the realities of war, critics say the Army is preparing for modern-day martial law.
Reporting from the Springdale Walmart, or the closed-down Walmart in Ohio. I want people to notice I'm on the back side of the compound, and this wire runs a lot farther than just the old Walmart. It wraps all the way up around David's Bridal. Reporting from the Springdale, Ohio Walmart with the barbed wire on top of it.
This is their little complex. The sun's in the way. It's an underground facility. It's like a base. That's the top of it. Why in the Walmart Supercenter need that. See the Walmart trucks? And I worked in this little white building here. See, it's like a military style entrance, kind of like a FEMA camp.
Walmart has, I try to stay away from Walmart as much as I can, but Walmart has the biggest, most gnarly security systems you have ever seen. So, cameras everywhere. I've never seen surveillance at Walmart before. So look what we have over here. Humvees, tanks. I'm really confused as to kind of I guess I'm not confused because that's exactly what's going on. But it's all right behind Walmart. See all that? So they're setting up for something. We don't know what it is or when it's coming, but we know it's going to involve Walmart and martial law.
This video, not a happy man. I am at the neighborhood Walmart in San Jose, California. And this is what it has become. I did not want to believe it, but it's happening. Does this look like your friendly neighborhood Walmart to you? No. Anyone who knows anything about jail or anything about that knows what this is. That is a holding area. Oh, I'm not allowed to go past this line, actually, because the security guard told me if I do, it links up to the San Jose Police Department, and they will come here and arrest me. That's kind of weird for a Walmart that's not in use anymore.
I hope this video helped you to understand the current situation we are living in, and what is coming in the near future. At the moment, they are giving the world a taste of what their normal lives were before the pandemic, but that is soon going to change, as new cases will rise, and new lockdowns are coming, but this time it will be tied in with their fake climate change crisis, which is the Pope's new gospel the whole world is following at the moment. I can't say when they will declare martial law, but we can see that it is coming in the near future. And surely this is all connected to the mark of the beast, which we covered in a few other videos. I wish you a nice day. God bless.